Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week in the Tech News, where today I'm in the middle. Now, the most obviously interesting bit of tech news that came out this week is the release of the Raven Ridge APUs. Now, these are actually very exciting and the reviews seem to be fairly positive. Kid Guru was saying that they're a great option for the budget gamer, but one of the things that you should keep in mind is that the 2400G, which is the kind of higher end one, isn't the best value for money. The better value is the $100 2200G. So get that and then save up for a discrete graphics card, something like an RX 550. Now, these APUs are very interesting because at the price point that they make a lot of sense. The 2400G, for example, even though Kid Guru says isn't a great value for money, is a kind of better gaming option than a similar CPU being powered by a GT 1030, which is a kind of pretty useless gaming graphics card, but it means that anything else in that price point is beat out terribly by the 2400G and the 2200G. And the most interesting comparison is comparing these solutions against the Intel alternative APU kind of thing. The Intel internal graphics is called the UHD 630. I don't know if it's UHD. I think the acronym is UHD. But the 630 is terrible in comparison. This kind of Vega graphics in the 2400G is about 3 times as powerful. Now, all the reviews weren't positive. Jay's 2 cents actually had a bit of issue with the CPU because he couldn't overclock them and get things like Rise of the Tomb Raider to work, and he couldn't get the APU to work properly on the motherboard that AMD themselves sent with the review kit. And then Paul's Hardware and Bitwit had kind of frame dropping issues where the kind of frame rate would stay at a constant, let's say 35 frames per second, and then drop down to like 10 at a point, and then kind of jump back up, which would make the games pretty much unplayable. And he said this was the most prevalent, or when I say he said, I'm talking about Paul's Hardware and Bitwit, both of them said that it was the most prevalent in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, but they saw it everywhere. But then after that, there was Hardware Nexus released a video saying that apparently a new firmware has been released, or a driver update rather, has been released that fixes this issue, and he confirms that the issue has been fixed. So that kind of negative press point has immediately been dealt with by AMD. Let me know in the comments below if you actually want to buy one of these, if you're in a position where you don't want to deal with the massively inflated GPU prices. Now, that actually brings me very neatly on to the next story, because there's been a bunch of leaks. Well, okay, actually, let me clarify that, in that there weren't leaks. There are some rumors that state that Ampere, which is, according to the rumor, the next GPU architecture that Nvidia is going to release is going to come out in GDC or GTC, which happens in mid to late March. They're going to announce it, and then the GPU is going to be officially released in kind of mid-April. Now, the thing is, these rumors are very much rumors. There is no kind of, there's no confirmation of this on any level. There isn't even a leak to accompany it. So we'll have to wait for the next couple of weeks to see if this is true. But if this is true, it's very exciting because there just aren't any GPUs left. And if Nvidia brings out a new series, hopefully there's going to be some flooding of the market again if they can find memory for it. But because it's going to use GDDR6, which is a new format of memory, which hasn't been sold out everywhere, hopefully stocks will stay steady for at least a couple of months. Please let it fix this GPU supply crisis. Huawei. Anyway, that phone company with that name, somewhere along those lines, Huawei, has been caught doing something ridiculous before the release of their Mate 10 Pro. Now, they've actually been trying to boost the kind of ratings around the phone by releasing a bunch of fake reviews around the cell phone, which is a bit of a sad thing to do, to be honest. They just want somebody to love them. Anyway, on the phone story, moving on from the phone story, there's actually been some drama happening in the cell phone chip manufacturing company space. in that Broadcom has been trying to buy Qualcomm, and they offered them a huge sum of money, like $146 billion to buy Qualcomm, and then Qualcomm rejected the offer, and now Broadcom is going along and trying to like aggressively take over the company. So they're just going to start like buying out all the shares until they have like a majority stake in the company. So let's see, maybe over the next couple of weeks some faceless massive corporate organization will own a different faceless massive corporate organization, and then all our lives will go on as though nothing has happened. And with that, it brings me to the end of yet another episode of This Week in the Tech News. If you liked the video, do like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I bring them out every week, and then other content around that as well. Do let me know in the comments below what kind of This Week in the Tech News content you'd like to see from me in the future. If there's like a specific type of thing you'd like me to spend more time talking about in the video. And with that, yes, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.